love game trailers, but sometimes you actually have to play a game to understand it. If you're giving someone a slice of your game, where do you make the cuts? Thinking of the greatest glimpses we've ever gotten of games we've since played and put back on the shelf, the ranking was often determined based on where the developers chose to start and stop. We avoided purchased games, so Dead Rising Case Zero and Gran Turismo Prologue are in a different category. These were pure bonuses, sometimes more valuable than the games they were packaged with. Ready to Rumble Boxing is the rare example of a demo that is better than the full release. While it only features 3 boxers, the ability to battle a friend in versus mode ensures brawls never get boring. The full release of the game is bogged down by tedious training exercises, but the simple arcade action shines through in its most simple and addictive form in this memorable demo. We're not the biggest fans of Final Fantasy VIII at the GT office, but the game's 1998 demo left an indelible impression. Seeing Squall sail to the shores of the Dalit Dukedom in battle against the Galbadian forces was a sight to behold. The super deformed characters of Final Fantasy VII were gone, instead replaced with far more believable models. The war-torn Dukedom looked absolutely stunning, and running away from the giant mechanical arachnid at the end was electrifyingly tense. It was the kind of demo that had our minds running wild with possibilities, making the crawl to the game's February 1999 release date almost unbearable. You gain levels in Just Cause 2 by causing chaos, and as long as its demo let you do that, you'd be pretty close to experiencing the best parts the full game has to offer. This demo put the franchise on the map for many, offering hundreds of activities to investigate, more than most demos ever achieve. The only negative was that some players found themselves content just playing the free version of Just Cause 2, and who can really blame them? Originally shown at E3 2009, the God of War 3 demo could be considered the biggest playable preview to ever rampage through the PlayStation 3 cell processor. After being put seamlessly into the action straight from the title screen, we find ourselves amidst a bloody scourge on the slopes of Mount Olympus. The fallen Spartan god displays a flurry of new mechanics, weapons, and features throughout the ascent, before finally decapitating Helios, Lord of the Sun, with his bare hands. He then uses Helios like a flashlight, commencing an all-out attack on gods and titans alike. The scale of this one still gives us chills, and an overwhelming urge to kill every Greek god that gets in our way. Included with Code Veronica X for the PS2, the demo of DMC introduced many players to what would become one of the great action franchises. When hopping through the demo for the first time, we weren't sure if it was trying to be a Resident Evil or a Castlevania game, but we quickly realized it was something special. The demo consists of Dante fighting hordes of monsters, swapping between guns and swords, through a creepy castle separated by puzzles. What makes this game still stand out is its innovative combat system that rewards you for playing smart and creative. It sells the final product while leaving you craving more demon slaying. Dead Rising proved its worthiness of next-gen consoles by its zombie count, and that's exactly what we wanted to check out for ourselves when a digital demo appeared before release. Locked into one section of the mall, you can get your hands on anything that's not nailed down, and slug your way through an endlessly respawning chorus of undead. Almost everyone with an Xbox 360 got infected, speedrunning the game's clock and digging for Easter eggs. It worked so well, Dead Rising 2 released their pre-launch content as a standalone prequel, again, teasing the freedom to come. Sonic Adventure is not a game that's held up particularly well, but the demo filled us with immense hope. Seeing the enormous orca whale repeatedly crash through the wooden walkway behind Sonic was an utterly captivating moment, practically selling us the Dreamcast single-handedly. Nothing in the previous generation of consoles could compete with the sheer spectacle on display. The demo also proved that Adventure was capable of nailing the signature speed of Sonic, allowing players to soar through the skies and run along the cliffs of the Emerald Coast. At the time, it felt like Sonic and Sega had a bold, prosperous future ahead of them, a sensation that hasn't been recaptured in exactly the same way since. Long before the days of broadband, internet, and digital distribution, the original Doom made its bones with one of the most important demos in gaming history. Before launch, floppy disks and CD-ROMs containing a small portion of the storied shooter were distributed all over the globe. The pedigree of this demo is clear, as it was often coupled with other classics of the era, such as Heretic, Wolfenstein, and even Warcraft: Orcs and Humans. The Doom demo left a legacy not only for making an entire generation crave the full game, but helping set first-person shooters on the path to glory. There were skateboarding games before Tony Hawk, but none captured the thrill and fun of skateboarding quite like this. Taking place in the Chicago skate park, players are given a few minutes to skate around and explore all the rails and ramps. The classic environment gives the player lots of freedom to skate how they want to skate. With a huge number of tricks and combinations possible, you can potentially stay in Chicago for hours, perfecting your skills. Releasing a demo for one of the most anticipated games of all time is a guaranteed way to boost sales. That's exactly what Konami did with Zone of the Enders. Those who pre-ordered the game got their hands on the coveted Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty Trial Edition. This demo lets you go through a large chunk of the tanker mission as Snake, infiltrating the ship from the rainy exterior, trying out the new stealth mechanics, holding up guards, shooting every piece of glass in the gallery, and witnessing how dynamic boss encounters would be in a showdown with Olga. It's the type of demo you replay countless times to explore every nook and cranny because you just can't get enough.